Chapter 1. You are listening at FameTV.info. The blood pressure of the injured is constantly decreasing, and the heart rate is getting weaker and weaker, which is lower than 50. A nurse was holding a bottle in her hand, while walking fast, reporting data. 40. 30. 20. 10. When the ECG shows 0, there is a long cry. The bed, which was about to be pushed into the emergency room, stopped. A doctor came up to check and shook his head with the nurse. Inform the family members of the injured to come and go through the formalities. The doctor took down the stethoscope. Wait, if the family comes. Nima. The doctor made a sudden cry and jumped to one side. The nurse with the bottle was also startled. The bottle in her hand almost fell off on the ground. Because the victim who had just been declared dead suddenly sat up. All of a sudden, the whole corridor quieted down. Doctors and nurses, you look at me, I look at you, and I don't know what happened. Finally, the nurse asked, "Are you not dead?" The injured man showed a puzzled expression. "Where is this?" "Hospitals." "Then I should not be dead." "But just now the heartbeat chart has shown that you have no heartbeat." The injured pointed to the plug beside the heartbeat chart and said, "It's loose here." The nurse followed the injured person's hand and saw that the plug of the instrument was released. It was originally their fault. It's not deceiving the corpse. After checking the injury, the injured were sent to the general ward. Walking out of the ward, the doctor muttered, "Strange, when I sent it, I was seriously injured. How can I recover so quickly?" Lu Sen was sitting on the bed with several injured people around him, but they were at least 60 years old. They were hanging water, but their eyes looked at him curiously. Lu Sen is tidying up some thoughts. He's not dead. To be exact, he should have died, but he was reborn in a freshman who was studying medicine at Minting University. This guy is also called Lu Senior. There is such a coincidence at the end of the day. Ben Zun ran a red light in a hurry and let an Audi R8 hit his head and sent him to the hospital for emergency treatment. After receiving all my memories, Lu Sen muttered, "You should obey the traffic rules at any time. You are not afraid of 10,000, just in case." Taking back his thoughts, Lu Sen smelled the smell of alcohol and various disinfectants in the ward, and felt quite uncomfortable. Pull out the needle and get ready to leave. He doesn't want to waste time in a place like this. He used to be a special forces soldier, and was hunting a drug lord. It's just that the drug lord is a sly and insidious guy who actually uses children as human bombs. In order to save those children, he fell into the trap of the drug lord and let him succeed in sneaking attack behind his back. Now that we are reborn, we must bring the drug lords to justice. Cough. Just as he was about to leave, he heard that patient number 48 was coughing on the bed. Lu Sen went over and looked at him. "Sir, your pneumonia is a little serious." 48 after patient No. 1 stopped coughing, he looked up at Lu Sen and said, "This is not pneumonia, but tuberculosis." But the doctor said, "My condition has entered the anti-tuberculosis treatment, will appear soon sputum negative, so do not need to worry about my infection." Lu Sen shook his head. "What you are talking about is not tuberculosis, but chronic pneumonia." "Sir, stick out your tongue and let me have a look. Are you a doctor?" "I know medicine." 48 patient No. 1 looked at Lu Sen with puzzled eyes. "If you know medical skills, how can you still be hospitalized?" Lu Sen rolled his eyes. "Sir, doctors may not be able to cure themselves. Besides, doctors are also human beings. They will also get sick. It's normal to be hospitalized. Besides, I didn't come to the hospital because I was ill. I was hit by a car." 48 patient number 1 suddenly realized. Hesitated for a moment, or stick out his tongue to let Lu Sen watch. Lu Sen got a cotton swab and put it on his tongue a few times before he said, "Your tongue is red, and the viscosity of your saliva is high. According to your facial expression again, have nothing to do with tuberculosis, suffer from chronic pneumonia. However, after a pause, Lucen asked, "Are you in the habit of smoking, sir?" 48 Patient number 1 stretched out 4 fingers and replied, 40 years old, "I can't quit smoking. With all due respect, if it was me, I would give up smoking. It can't be. Smoking is spiritual food. Quitting rice is more serious than quitting smoking." Lucen shrugged and said nothing more about it. Smoking cessation depends on personal self-discipline. It can't be said that smokers can't live a long life. After thinking about it, Lucen said, "Sir, your disease is not tuberculosis. Staying here all day has little effect. Besides not being free, it's a waste of time and money. Otherwise, I'll prescribe a prescription for you. You can grab a pair of medicine and boil 3 bowls of water into a bowl of water to drink, so as to cure your pneumonia." Really? 48 Patient number 1 is in a hurry. He didn't want to stay here for a long time. It was worse than prison. If you don't believe it, you can take the prescription to the drugstore for people to have a look. If it's not true, you can come to me at any time. Lucen found a pen and paper and wrote several kinds of herbs on it. Honeysuckle, gardenia, forsythia, viola, dandelion. A total of 10 kinds of medicinal materials. You grasp all, according to the decoction method I just said, a medicine to get rid of. 48 Patient number 1 took Lucen's prescription with half faith. "Sir, I have something else to do. I'll go first." "Young man, what's wrong with me?" Patient 46 stopped Lucen, who was ready to leave. Lucen stared for a while and said, "Your lips are dry and your face is yellow. Is there something wrong with your liver?" Yes. Your condition is not particularly serious for the time being, but if you continue to drink too much, if you don't suffer from hepatitis or liver cancer, you will come and tear down my signboard. Can it be cured? I'll write a prescription. The decocting method is the same. 3 bowls of water can be boiled into 1 bowl of water, and 1 pair of medicine will do. After writing the prescription, Lucen felt that the disinfectant in the ward was getting stronger and stronger, and he didn't want to stay for a second. "Don't go yet, young man, and mine." "And me." Me, Lucen was speechless. If I had known that, just now he didn't mind his own business to see Patient 48. He was a special forces soldier in his previous life, but he was also a doctor. If he doesn't diagnose other patients now, he won't be able to get out of this ward. The patients who were still infusing liquid before looked listless. Now they are blocking him to see a doctor. They are lively and can kill several tigers. Your disease is not diabetes, but osteoporosis. You have hemorrhoids. What are you doing? Lucen, who is in the process of diagnosis, hears the sound and turns around to see a woman doctor in a white coat standing at the door of the ward with a serious expression. Bad. Listen to the full novel at FameTV.info, direct link in the description.